The Dallas Cowboys have made a surprising roster move, and an ESPN insider explains exactly why this defense looks as different as it does and why last night looked as positive as it did and what it means for the Dallas Cowboys going forward. And we got to break it all down. What's up, guys? I'm Matt Long. Welcome to Cowboys Football 365. If you're a Dallas Cowboy fan, please hit that subscribe button. Only 3.7% of viewers are subscribed. But let's get into the news for today. Coming from Dallas Cowboy insider John Machota on Twitter, the Cowboys have activated defensive tackle Perrion Winfrey and released linebacker Damone Clark. Damone Clark, his stats, looking them up, really not even substantial enough for me to put in this video. A couple tackles, really didn't do a whole lot, which was surprising when it feels like when we watched the Cowboys, his name was being called constantly, but stats didn't back it up. And now defensive tackle Perrion Winfrey has been elevated and activated to take his spot on our roster. Perrion Winfrey was a 4th-round pick of the Cleveland Browns in 2022. He's bounced around the league. He went to the XFL, and now he's here with the Dallas Cowboys in what continues a trend of Jerry Jones strengthening the run defense of this football team. He's been talking about it all offseason, how he wants to make sure that the first thing this Cowboys defense does is stop the run, which is why he traded away Micah Parsons, someone he didn't believe was an elite run defender, which he's not an elite run defender, but we all know why you hang on to Micah Parsons. Traded Micah Parsons, and one of the pieces returning back was Kenny Clark, and then trading for Quinnen Williams, who is an elite run defender. And last night we watched the Cowboys versus the Raiders. The Raiders could not do a whole lot of absolutely anything, especially Jerry Jones. He said you better stop the run, and oh yeah, we stopped the run. Ashton Jeanty, 6 carries for 7 yards. This is Ashton Jeanty, the all-world running back talent, taken 6th overall in the NFL draft by the Las Vegas Raiders. Was fantastic in college, still probably is a fantastic running back if his team isn't missing their best 2 offensive linemen. But hey, that's not our fault. What I see is we absolutely turned the screws on the Las Vegas Raiders last night. They were not able to move the football at all because this defense is significantly better than it used to be. Now, Troy Aikman was correct last night when he said last night was a bad test. The Raiders are not a good offense, but it still showed that the Cowboys are moving in the right direction defensively. And there was a quote from an insider from ESPN, Dan Graziano. He said this morning on ESPN's Get Up, the reason why this looks like a different defense is because it is a different defense. They had 5 new players starting on defense who were either injured or on different teams the last time we saw the Dallas Cowboys play. They have completely overhauled this defense. Now, of course, Graziano is referring to the new additions of trade acquisitions, Quinnen Williams and Logan Wilson, and then talking about getting Malik Hooker back from injury, getting DeMarvion Overshown back from injury, and also getting Siobhan Revel Jr., the 3rd-round pick, back from injury. This defense was significantly better last night than we've seen them be all season. Part of this was the Raiders' offense is really, really bad. A lot of it was the new acquisitions. We watched Quinnen Williams go out and get 1.5 sacks, which is more sacks than he had through 8 games with the New York Jets. That's probably a little bit more luck being involved, but still shows that Quinnen Williams is a monster, and we should not be concerned about the lack of sack production on the New York Jets this season. Quinnen Williams, he's still a beast. He just wasn't getting the sacks, but we really saw this Cowboy defense looked a whole lot better against the Raiders because when the overall talent level of the defense rises, it makes it so much easier to call a defense from the perspective of defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus. But most importantly, this defense is finally set up in the vision that Jerry Jones had for it. The vision was stop the run and stop the run again, and then stop the run, and then hope they don't pass the ball. The Raiders passed the ball 42 times, I believe was the attempt. Yeah, 42 attempts for Geno Smith, but we made it so they couldn't run the ball, and when they passed the ball, we just made it difficult for them. We were able to get in passing lanes, to tip passes, and force turnovers. We've been talking about it on this channel for a while. If this defense is able to force turnovers, 1 or 2 of them can be the difference in the game when the offense is as explosive as it is. We watched Ceedee Lamb and George Pickens were not out on the first drive of the game, but as soon as they came in on the second drive, we went on a run. Dak Prescott had an awesome night, threw touchdowns to Ceedee, threw a touchdown to Pickens, threw a touchdown to to Ryan Flanoy, threw a touchdown to Jake Ferguson. Absolutely amazing night from the offense. And we know that this defense doesn't have to be elite for us to win a lot of football games and be able to go on a run here. They just have to be mediocre. Now, again, going back to what Troy Aikman said in the booth after the game, this team is better, but they have no wiggle room. They have no room for failure. They can't make any mistakes. And that's going to be a problem when we look at the schedule coming up. First, it's going to start with the Philadelphia Eagles in Jerry's World. That's going to be a really tough game. But the Philadelphia Eagles, the strength of that team is their defense. They have an all-world defense, one of the best defenses in the league so far this season. Last week, they shut down the Detroit Lions on Sunday Night Football. The week before that, they shut down the Green Bay Packers offense on Monday Night Football. But both times, their offense looked really, really bad. So you know, Jalen Hurts is talking to A.J. Brown, talking to Devontae Smith, talking to Dallas Goedert on this morning and all through this week, talking about how the Dallas Cowboy defense is a great opportunity for them to get back on track. We have to see it the exact same way. We have to talk about how we are going to use this game to get ourselves back on track. Currently, we're still below 500 at 4-5-1, but with one more victory, especially against the team that is currently first in the NFC East, first in our division, a win head-to-head versus the Philadelphia Eagles can go a long way in the Cowboys making a run for a divisional championship this year, or maybe a wild card bid. But wild cards can be really tough. Right now, the 5-win San Francisco 49ers are third in their division. So it's going to be a really tough battle for a wild card spot. You really want to just, win the division if you can, but the Philadelphia Eagles are going to be trying to make that difficult. So we are going to be using our new acquisitions to show the Philadelphia Eagles something that we haven't put a whole lot on film yet, because with these new additions, we are able to do a whole lot of different things schematically. When you add in the athleticism that was just added to this defense, Siobhan Revel is an extremely fast player, 6'2", very, very athletic. He's going to be all over the field on the back end. And then we're going to have DeMarvion Overshown, one of the most athletic linebackers in the game, even if he's got to go off the field for a couple snaps to adjust his knee brace, even if he has to, come back from this ACL, the torn ACL, MCL, PCL. Almost got all four of them. That's really, really tough to come back from. But DeMarvion Overshown is going to make it back slowly but surely. He's an elite athlete. That's what elite athletes do. And we need DeMarvion Overshown back, because the next couple games coming up are going to be really difficult. It's Eagles at home, and then it doesn't even get any easier. We have the Kansas City Chiefs after that. And right now, the Chiefs are going to be on the warpath. Patrick Mahomes is going to be going into playoff mode. They are 5-5 currently, in danger of not even making the playoffs, which would be absolutely insane to see. The Kansas City Chiefs have made the NFL, or they've won the AFC West 9 seasons in a row, which is crazy. And it would be insane if they came right back and didn't even make the playoffs, even though Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce are still healthy. That would be insane. So they're not going to pull any punches. They're not going to save any schemes. They're going to give us everything that we can possibly handle in 2 weeks when we see the Kansas City Chiefs. And we have to be ready with a high-level game plan to be able to not get ran over. Frankly, our defense, I'm still worried about it. One game against the Raiders doesn't, it made me feel better about what we have, and you should feel better because it was a completely different defense. But we have to remember, it was the Las Vegas Raiders. They've been bad on offense against everybody. Kansas City Chiefs beat them 31-0, a team that has gotten shut out, holding them to a low score. Even if it is a really low score, it's not the most impressive thing in the world. So we have to make sure our new acquisitions on defense, our new guys coming back from injuries on defense, they have to figure out how to all mesh together, figure out how to make a run of this thing. The season's not over yet, but it will be over pretty soon. If we got to go next 4 games. We'll also see the Detroit Lions. I don't know if the Detroit Lions are in 3 weeks or 4 weeks, but the Lions are in there too. We got to find a way to go 3-1 over the next 4 weeks. It's going to be really tough. Hopefully this team is built for it, but we're going to find out. But if you stuck around this long in the video, I appreciate you taking your time to watch it all the way through. Please hit that like button if you haven't already. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel, and go Cowboys.